80% of small and medium-sized businesses have taken to the internet as the more convenient platform to sell and market their goods. According to online retailer Jumia, online vendors have been on a sharp upsurge thanks to growing internet usage in the country. While declining to give the actual number of merchants on the online marketplace platform, Jumia's managing director Sam Shepat said that the number of SMEs leveraging the platform grew by 45% in 2016, a trend he attributes to Jumia opening up its platform to vendors in new categories. Of course, that comes on the back of the World Internet Day, just an indication of how internet is enabling businesses across Africa. And you know pretty well that Africa is still considered to be the Silicon Savannah, where a number of countries have been able to champion for internet uptake and also dissemination of information, and just to bring the young people into a position where they can take part in matters to do with the economy.
Married to one wife, and I have a son who is 10 years old. Unique Correction started 2012. It was an inspiration that I got from a company that I was working for, and I wanted to be financially stable. So I tried to start a side hustle where I can be earning some little cash as building up for the future, to be a company of my own.
Well, the young people there trying to make a living using the internet. Speaking about making a living, have you ever thought of what would happen to you the day you hit your retirement age, or perhaps when you have to end your career and pursue private interest actually? Well, those are some of the hard questions we will be putting to Rose Musonye Kwenya, who is the Chief Manager, Corporate Communications at Retirement Benefits Authority. Thank you for coming.
Pleasure.
Perhaps, Rose, let's start by, why don't people save for retirement?
I think people don't save particularly for retirement because people don't believe they'll grow old. That is one. Many people think that, you know, they will be okay when the time comes. Mm-hmm. And there are other people also who believe they don't have enough money, even as they are working and generating an income, they don't believe that they have enough money to save. So a lot of people who are especially in the informal sector and don't happen to fall in an occupational scheme that is established by an employer believe that whatever they get is not enough. Mm-hmm. But what they don't know is that whatever you have, even if you put aside just 20 shillings a day, at the end of the day, it is going to help you, it is going to accumulate, and it will help you in retirement.
So why do we have a very weak savings culture in the first place? Because that's perhaps where the rain started beating us.
We have a weak savings culture because we believe in immediate gratification. You know, Kenyans, we like to live well, and we believe that, you know, if I am making some money, I need to use that money today. Immediate gratification is our key challenge. But we are working on that. We are trying to educate Kenyans that, you know, you can deny yourself a little bit, not everything, and just put aside something small and grow, you know, that savings, so that it helps you when you're not able to work. Yeah.
Speaking about what you've been doing, what are some of the incentives that come with someone having a savings plan or a pension scheme?
The first incentive is the tax holiday that you get from the government, because under the current law, up to 20,000 Kenya shillings that you earn is not taxed if you are saving it through a pension scheme. That is one. And it is substantial. It's a lot of money. You can imagine if maybe you're making 50,000 shillings a month, and up to 20,000 Kenya shillings of that amount is not going to be taxed by KRA. That's a huge saving. So the government forgoes, you know, money from you so that it can help you put aside some reserves to help you in old age.
All right.
The second one is that in 2009, the government came up with a a pension-backed mortgage,
Yeah.
whereby people saving through a pension scheme could assign up to 60% of their pension savings towards acquiring a mortgage. And of course, assigning means the money does not leave the fund. All it does is that it becomes like a second guarantee, because the first guarantee is a house. And we realize that for Kenyans, although we really love to own homes, the biggest challenge is the initial fees. Lawyers' fees and all those other fees. You'll find that even if you qualify for a mortgage, you may not be able to raise those initial fees. So that is another very tangible benefit right there. Okay.
So moving forward, looking at these initiatives that are in place to spur people to try and save, what are the numbers looking like? Have we seen a growth in number of Kenyans considering to take up pension schemes and saving plans for their retirement?
I want to say yes. For a long time, the number had stagnated at 15% of the total workforce. And the biggest chunk of this 15% was in the formal sector. And you know that more than 80% of Kenyan workers are in the informal sector.
Yeah.
So that particular sector had totally been left out. But in 2009, the informal sector people came together themselves and they came up with their own unique pension plan. So using that vehicle, they are mobilizing pension savings.
Yeah.
From 2014, we were still at 15%. But today, as we are speaking, at least I am happy to say we are at 19%. So there is some growth.
So
but it is minimal. It is minimal.
So this is 15% of the working population?
Yeah, the total workforce.
And the total workforce, the last time I checked, it's 10 million people.
Yeah.
That's formal and informal combined.
Yes, yes.
2.5 million for the formal sector.
Yes.
So the numbers are still pretty low.
They're still pretty low, but we're still working at it, and we're trying to really demonstrate the benefit of saving for retirement for Kenyans. Because Kenyans are believing that they can save through other vehicles. You know, we are professional hustlers, and we believe that if you have a house, you're sorted. Or if you marry several wives and you get like 20 children, you're sorted. All that. But we are saying, okay, in as much as you're doing what you're doing, please put aside some money through a pension scheme that is going to help you when push comes to shove, because that day is coming, whether you like it or not.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rose Musonye Kwena, just talking to us about why it is important to save, giving us figures that 15% of the working population currently have a savings plan, and 15% translates to less than 1 million. That is the striking numbers we have around that.